Mhm. Mhm. Don't glue my fingers together. Don't glue my fingers together. Put the glue on the ear, on the eye, instead of the face, so it doesn't drip down and make a mess. Kinda goofy looking. I did, in fact, get super glue on my hands. Oh, yeah. Huh. Here we go. I think we might be able to actually have everything on correctly now, instead of just falling freaking off all the time. Oh. We didn't see that. That did not happen. It did not. Look, I've got a surprise. Ready? Ooh. Pause. It's got pause. Aww. Biblically accurate bear. Yes. Yes, that is me. I'll fix it eventually. But not currently. Not currently. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Maybe it'll be fixed by tomorrow. Who freaking knows? I have like 5 backups though, so I'm not super worried. Not super worried at all. Plus it kinda goes with my brand. I'm creepy cute. Cute and creepy. Oh, what do you say? Should we color this thing? Don't mind the rustling sounds in the background. That is just me trying to grab hold of the markers that I stashed somewhere just out of reach. I need brown. Here's brown. Uh-huh. Is this the ideal way to color air dry clay charms? No, it is not. But is it what I have? Yes. And is it sufficient? Probably. This is the test version, okay? I'm going to make a better versions, but this is the test, okay? So don't at me. It's gonna be messy. It's already messy. I used to have these little Crayola... Yeah, well, it's not an oh no yet. It's not an oh you know yet, squirrely. It's not an oh no yet. I used to have these little Crayola toys that were basically like this. They were white, blank little dolls, and you could color them however you wanted. They were pretty crap quality because the marker would always rub off over and over again. So I would make one, and then it would rub off, and then I would have to redo it all over again, and I freaking hated it. I was like, why do I have to reincarnate my dolls over and over again? I did like that I could design my own dolls, though. That is something that I really like. Were they ones you could throw in the wash to clean them off? No, but I did also have those. I did have the doodle bears that you could throw into the wash and clean off. But I also had these little white dolls that you could color on. Good memories. Good memories. I don't remember, I don't have that childhood experience of drawing on the walls. I never did that. What I did do was I took one of my littlest pet shops, a turtle specifically, and I rubbed it all over the wall. For some reason, I would just run down the wall and his feet would be on the wall, and I would just rub him all over the wall until I scratched the paint off. That's what I did instead of coloring on the walls, because I am really weird. gonna take a while. Let me switch back to the bigger end of the marker. Excuse me while I just throw stuff all over my desk. I love making tiny things. It's my passion in life. Currently applying to the School of Tiny Things to get my bachelor's degree in tiny things. True story. I have always loved tiny things. I collected squinkies. I collected erasers. I collected... They were called Schlelch. They were like super realistic, biologically accurate animals. Same here, painting miniatures currently. I love it. I freaking love it. I have a Gundam, but not Gundam brand miniature that I built the other week. It's called the Alternative Messer Float, and it's like a wasp mecha, and it's got real glass for wings. Awesome. It was great for a beginner Gundam build because it had no stickers. So, you know, that was kind of nice. No! Okay. That's... Okay, no. That's not the one that I super glued on. That's the one that did not have super glue. Okay, I thought that was the glued one for a second. And I was about to be really mad. So just hold that on there for a second. That was maybe too much glue. He might look a tad shiny. I should corrupt multiple VTuber models. Imagine getting one of those free models off of Booth and then intentionally corrupting the image files, and then you just have that as your model instead. That sounds dope. Love the beginner stuff more, because that stuff looks good on its own without decades of effort. Yeah! You know what sucks though? It didn't come with a stand. And it doesn't stand well on its own. So I just have to kind of like stick it on my bulletin board, and it's just kind of hanging there. Okay, glue is dry enough. I always get glue all over my hands when I do this. I was working with super glue yesterday too. Sounds like I crucified it. I think maybe I was blowing a little bit too close to the microphone. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. This man is my son. I would never murder him. Although I guess... No, I'm not gonna go down that route. Still not super dry. Super glue's supposed to dry fast. I just gotta be more patient. If I wasn't streaming, I think I would be more patient. But I feel like I gotta entertain, you know? I need an X right where the center of my camera is, so I don't keep going off camera. After this, I'm gonna make some Dungeons and Dragons charms for my Dungeons and Dragons group. And it's gonna be easy because they all chose to play as furries. We've got a minotaur, a cat, what are they called? Tabaxi, and we've got a kenku crow. So they are legit, all playing as furries, and so I can just use the same little style to make little animal charms for them to use on the board. That would definitely help. I have one of those self-repairing pads that I can use to make sure your hand cam is centered. Do you mean like memory foam? Yeah, that would be nice. I just need a placemat, like a little kiddo. That would probably help keep my workspace clean as well. As you can see, this desk is kind of scratchy. To be fair though, this is hand-me-down from like 3 of my siblings. So, not all of this is me. We had 2 identical desks like this. This is probably like 15 years old. Been through a lot. Been through 4 children. Okay. Back to the detail pen so that I can get around the little paws. I refer to this little bear as he, even though I'm a she. And it's technically supposed to be me. I tend to do that. Whenever I draw the teddy bear form, or make a sculpture of the teddy bear form, I refer to it as he. It's like this mat that is measured and angled out that I can cut into that doesn't leave any marks. Oh. Like they use for sewing sometimes. Yeah, that'd be nice. That sewing is the one craft that I just cannot master, despite my own mother being a master of it, and attempting to teach me, and my grandmother as well, but unfortunately, my hands just don't get it. The threads, man. They get tangled. And then I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? And I just don't understand how they all go together. I made one thing. I sewed one thing in like 1st grade. With a lot of help, and that is pretty much it. That is the extent of my sewing fruits. That is all of the fruits of the sewing I have tried. I once went to a little workshop that was like basics of sewing. Come here and learn the absolute basics of sewing. And I failed so hard. I could not sew a button. It was sad. Alright. Should I do pink for the buttons? Should I do canon colors, or should I do black, because it makes more sense? The bow can be pink, and the feeties can be pink, but I will make the eyes black. This is kind of a dark pink. Do I have a lighter pink? I actually do. I should have looked at that first, but I guess the feet are going to be dark pink, and the bow is going to be light pink. I am also biased towards pink. Pink is my second favorite color, and my first favorite color is green, baby. And I think they go well together, even though most people don't. When we first moved into our house, there was a room that was pink and green striped. And my parents freaking hated it. And they painted over that as soon as they could. But I kind of liked it. That house was weird, actually. Almost every single room was pink. Some sort of pink. I guess there used to be a lot of girls that lived in that house, and there was a lot of girls that lived in that house again. I have sisters, but we still didn't want pink. Oh wait, light pink, light pink, light pink. I messed up. How did you do that? Light pink. We'll call that shading. We'll call that shading, and we'll put an identical mark on the underside of the other bow. Sounds like an interesting design choice for a room. Yeah. A lot of interesting design choices in that house when we first moved in. The backyard. It was as if the contractors that had built the neighborhood just bulldozed all of the construction site up into our yard and left it. When we first moved in, there were rusty nails, staples, there were freaking the bow broke. There were, I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. I'm gonna color over it in brown. There were old doll heads in the backyard. Lovely, right? Yeah, me and my siblings collected them all and put them in a pile next to the porch. And there goes the other half of the bow. Well, let's do this. How's about that? Eh? That works, right? Can I peel the other half off here? Yeah, that works. Just with my nails. It's like those cartoons where they try to hide everything under the carpet. Yeah. And they got away with it. We bought the house anyway. It's tougher to color on the spots that are dustier. Who knew? This is gonna be so messy and weird. But honestly, I think it's still a sleigh. It kind of fits with the aesthetic. Because it doesn't look normal already. It started out not looking normal. You know what I mean? So the fact that it's all colored weird is fine. Maybe I'm just coping. But doing this, I have decided that the ones that I'm going to gift to my friends, those ones are gonna be actually painted. Not whatever I'm doing right now. Because this freaking sucks. It matches today's theme, yes. The theme of eldritch horror, Lovecraftian abominations, biblically accurate bears. Yeah, it legit looks like it's from Coraline. Genuinely, kinda dig it. Let's not hide the spots too much in the blackness, because this is a pretty rich black. Button eyes are always an adorable vibe. I vibe with button eyes. I've got button eyes. Look, the little X's in my eyes are supposed to evoke buttons. Yeah, yeah. That's one of the facets I added to my model that did not come with the standard customization options. Because this model is like one of the ones that they sell copies of that you can customize. But honestly, I don't know if I'll ever upgrade. Because I kind of like it. Do I really need to be more realistic? No, not really. If I did upgrade, I would not go with the standard anime style. I legit would not. I would go with more, probably more of an American comic style. Because I'm quirky. Because I am quirky like that. I'm gonna do an experiment. Don't mind the sounds. Just use a real bear. You know what? That's genius. That's genius. I get a PNG of a bear. And I rig it to move its mouth when I talk. Use, like, photos. I don't know. Okay. Here's my experiment. Paintbrush. Ready? This could go well, or this could go horribly. Are we ready? Get a little pigment on there, and just get that, come on, get that down into the cracks. That kind of worked? That kind of worked. Hmm. Experimentation. I'm the mad scientist of art. This little bear does not know what is coming. This isn't working. Okay. Remember to wash that brush later, Softy. Remember. Not gonna lie, that hurt to see. It'll wash out. I've done that before. If you actually... I usually do this with Crayola markers because I don't like to waste the Prismacolors. But if you get a little bit of plastic wrap and you put a little bit of marker on the plastic wrap, and then you get your brush wet and you take the pigment off of the plastic wrap with the brush, just kind of lift it off and then put it on paper. It's literally almost exactly the same as watercolor. It acts like watercolor. It looks like watercolor. Just a hot tip for you whenever you need to watercolor for cheap. Maybe I'll do that on stream. Bootleg watercolors. Everybody come and see the bootleg watercolors. I will show you how. Painting with extra steps. Well, yeah, I guess so. But it's cheaper. It's way cheaper. You can get a whole box of Crayola markers for the same amount as like one watercolor. I guess that's if you buy the fancy stuff. If you buy the not fancy stuff, you can probably get the same amount of markers for the same amount of watercolors. But my point still stands. Whoops. Ah. We're good. We are okay. Get in there, get the pigment in there. Okay. I think I'm just about done with this one for now. I'll go in and touch him up later, probably. There he is. In all his scribbly glory. Yay! Okay. Time to get to some actual sculpting, baby. Don't drop clay everywhere, Softy. Don't drop clay. How big should this be? Probably half as much. Reminds you of something from Invader Zim. I've never seen Invader Zim, but I like the aesthetic. Kind of reminds me of a voodoo doll, honestly. I like the aesthetic of voodoo dolls. I don't think I would ever upgrade my model, but maybe I would get different outfits. You know, commission that. I would get a voodoo outfit. A voodoo doll outfit. Unless that's cultural appropriation or something. In which case I would not. Nah, a little smaller. A little smaller. Okay. Air dry clay, you kind of have to work fast, which does kind of suck. I will be sculpting each bit separately and gluing them on to each other later. Because I learned my lesson last time. It all just falls apart if you try to connect it all together. I'm doing the Minotaur first. Let me get a toothpick. Brand new box of toothpicks. Gotta rip it open. Toothpick. And now he has hooves. Ta-da! Maybe make his legs a little bit longer. There we go. Wondrous. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. And then cows do have snouts, kind of. So I should probably try and give them a little bit of a nose. Let's see if I can do it with the clay that I have currently, and I don't have to attach any more clay to this glob. This eye socket is a bit too sunken. He's gotta have chubby cheeks, you know? I think I'm gonna have to put on another glob. Alright. Hopefully you're still wet enough to accept the glob into your life. Accept the glob. Accept it. Blend the glob. Okay. Glob officially integrated. Now I gotta make this an oval shape again. And snout it. Praise the glob. All praise the glob. blend this a little bit. Okay, while you're still wet, don't take that out of context. I'm gonna put your ears on. That is too big. Half that size. I think that's a good size. Yes. Good. Wonderful. Amazing. Well, maybe not amazing, but let's stay humble here. It's okay. No, screw that. Never mind. Let's have self-esteem. It's great. It's freaking wonderful. Okay. Ear seems good. Let me blend this out before these cracks dry. There we go. Yes. Okay. And then I gotta make sure the other ear looks about the same. I think he needs a tad, just a tad more clay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, you're getting cold. Don't get cold on me, bro. That's when it starts to dry. That's how you know that it's starting to dry, when it gets cold. I gotta remember which way is up as well. This way. This way is up. Don't crack. I worked so hard on you. My mother to me when I'm under pressure. That's what she says. Turn that around. There we go. That looks pretty good. Blend that in. Might have to super glue that later, but that is okay. That is O to the K. All right. Oof. Let's not leave that the way it is, because that will crack and be weird. Alright. Alright, I think we're good. No, let me go back over this with perfectionist precision. Get rid of all these corrects increases. Air dry clay is nice, but I think I might like regular clay more. I just don't have a kiln. Because who has a kiln, bro? I guess professional sculptors. But that ain't me. Little nose. Little cow nose. I don't like to give my sculptures mouths. Eyes. What do I do for eyes? Would an oven work? For certain kinds of clay, but not others. Also, if it exploded in there, that would be really, really freaking bad. Which is always a risk when you're working with clay. It might just explode if you've got an air pocket in there. Look at this man. That's a cute man. I used to do salt dough, which is like, that is bottom of the barrel, worst kind of clay, you know? That is literally, you're sculpting bread, basically. You're sculpting the stuff that they would eat on the battlefield during the Civil War. Basically, it's just salt, flour, water, mix it up, sculpt it into whatever, and then bake it. And it makes a sculpture. It does make a sculpture. It does do what it says on the box. I think I'm going to make 3D eyes, not dots. Well, I'm gonna put the dots down, and then that will just be where the eyes will go. I have marked it. If it works, it works. Very, very, very true. That is my philosophy. Do what works. Find what works, and then do what works. I need to make this eye real, real small. And these will definitely, probably, absolutely fall off when they dry. So I'm just gonna have to glue him back on. You know what, I might change my mind. I might just stick with the dots. I don't know. Yeah, I'll stick with the dots. Dots it is. He needs horns, though, because he is a he. This one actually truly is a he. And I'm not just using he as an affectionate diminutive, like I do with the bear. How big shall the horns be? Pretty big, I think. But not so big that he falls over. That's the tough bit. Here. I'm going to do this. There we go. Now the head stays on, and I can test to see if he will stand up. I'm a genius. By the way, if you didn't already know. Okay. Horns here. Horns here. Horns, horns here. Yes. Yes. Horns there. Yes. 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 Kinda looks like a deer. No, it doesn't. No. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Blend in this. Which is just a small cow. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. A smaller, skinnier cow. So it's fine. Completely fine. That horn is still too freaking fat at the bottom. There we go. Now it should be the correct size. Should I even bother trying to blend these onto the greater shape? Because they will fall off. Giant ears and tiny horns. He needs a tail. Really big ears. Really big ears. Okay, don't think about that too much. Did I pin the horns in? I did not pin the horns in. If I pin the horns in, I feel like they're gonna spin when they dry. I don't want to pin them in. I only pinned in the head temporarily so I could make sure that he balanced. So, not too concerned about pinning the horns. Okay. I'm gonna try to make the tip of the tail and the body of the tail all in the same piece. This might be a fruitless effort. This might be a bad idea. Yes, that was a bad idea. Because it looks freaking weird. So, separate pieces. Gonna blend this into his bone real quick. Blend that, blend, quick, because it's a small piece and it's gonna dry. There we go. Okay. Has been blended. I think. Yeah, a little bit more. I don't want there to be a little seam. There's like a little seam. Do you see it? I don't want that. Because that's not a thing on real cows. And then flatten this down just a tad. Don't undo all my hard work by prying it away from his body. Okay. Does that track? Does that translate? The eternal question. Does that look like a tail? Or does it look like something else? This is harder than I thought it would be. I wasn't planning on giving him arms. I wasn't planning on giving him such big ears. Maybe some lines to be like that long fur coat they have on their tails. I might just do it here. That immediately crumbled. Okay. Take two. We very, very gently just put some lines here. That doesn't look like anything. Okay. Note. I want to make his ears smaller. That's what I'm gonna do. Horns off. I can just set those aside completely, pretty much. make these way smaller, probably. And this is too dry to put back in the bucket, probably. Oh, who knows? It'll absorb moisture from everything else. Okay. Kind of fold that back in on itself. Well, don't mess up his nose while I'm doing that. Okay. When I'm working on a problem, sometimes I like to go work on a different problem and then come back. So that's what I'm doing right now. While I'm working on these ears, I get to think about how I solve the tail problem. And that's how my brain does it. Which is honestly pretty useful, because sometimes I'm like, oh, how do I write this essay? Well, let me go do dishes about it. And then by the time I come back, I'm like, oh, okay, I know how to write this essay. It's productive as long as I can focus, which is a big if. Let's put the horns back on and see how it looks with the smaller ear. More cow-like, I would say. More cow-like. Do cows have manes? Oh. Do cows have manes? They do not. They don't. I'm fairly confident that I know what farm animals look like. I'm like 80% sure that I know what the basic farm animal of cow does in fact look like. And you tell that I grew up in the suburbs. Have I literally ever set foot on a farm? Yes, but not a cow farm. I have set foot in orchards and veggie farms. But no cows. I have never touched a cow. I should put that on my bucket list. Yeah, the smaller ears do make it look like a cow. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Or neither. Or both. People at work often accidentally call me sir, because apparently I look like a guy when I'm in the uniform from the back. So they'll call me sir, and I'll be like, hey. And they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. And I'll be like, you could have just not said anything, and I would have just assumed that you call everybody sir. I like being called ma'am, though. Most of the time I get called miss, and honestly, that's upsetting to me, Miss. What do you mean, miss? That's so... I'm not that young. I'm not a child. I like being called ma'am because it seems more acknowledgement of your authority. You know what I mean? Yeah. Option D, all of the above? Sure. Alright. Really? What? Alright. Smaller ears, check. Let's see how that looks. Better. Looks better. Much, much better. And now the tail. I'm gonna be honest, I did not think of a solution for the tail. I'm gonna take it off for now. And try to just redo it and see if something comes up then. I'm thinking... This ear is cracking a little bit, which concerns me. Interesting shape. For the tail, definitely. For the whole thing, I mean, hopefully it's interesting. I wouldn't want it to be boring. This ear is cracking hard. I'm gonna put some more clay onto the back here. And hopefully that won't make it worse. Hopefully that will make it better. Blend that baby. Blend it good and fast. I'm gonna work on the tabaxi. Right after I get this ear to hopefully be a little bit more structurally sound so it won't just fall apart. That will hopefully be good. Here we go. I think that is okay. Aha! I'll give him a bit more accessories later. Probably like a bag or something. Maybe a little sword in a little sheath. That would be cute. That would be so cute. But for now I'm going to work on the tabaxi because the tabaxi actually has a deadline because my friend is moving away. Smoothening. In the process of smoothening. Smooshing. Yeah. It sucks to say, but I'm used to friends moving away. So I know the procedures by now. I live in kind of like a military town, so people move, they get reassigned all the time. So I had a lot of friends growing up that would just be there for a couple years and then move away. Let's take a little bit off the top. Yeah, military towns are weird. Same here. Your bestie's leaving in August. Yeah. That's such a coincidence, because I'm leaving in August. Whoa, am I secretly your bestie? Do we secretly know each other? That'd be crazy. Probably not, though. August is a common time for people to move, because it's the beginning of a new school year. So, you go to a new school, you leave. Okay. Pause. Not, in fact, P-A-U-S-E, but, in fact, P-A-W-S. Oh, she's being stationed elsewhere. Yeah. Yeah, living in a military town kinda sucks sometimes. Also, sometimes you just see a mushroom cloud over the horizon and you're like, oh, they're testing the bombs today. I think maybe where I grew up influenced my personality a little bit. Because seeing something like that and just being like, oh, what a normal Thursday, probably explains a lot about me. Seeing something like an eldritch abomination teddy bear and being like, oh yeah, that me. Who knows? Maybe I was fundamentally changed by living in proximity to a base. Those holes are too deep. Helicopters? Yeah. Helicopters suck. I think the town I'm moving to in August also has a military base close by. The mushroom cloud, yes, it does explain the look. In more ways than one. Mentally, physically, emotionally. The mushroom cloud made me who I am today. I should play Fallout New Vegas on stream again. Here, let's do this for the pause instead. Boop, boop, boop. That is a lot better. There we go. I used the back of the brush instead of the toothpick. And then I can smooth this out. You were about to say that's a great Fallout cosplay. Yeah. I was wanting to edit my last Fallout stream into a video. That would be fun, I think. I think that's one of the best streams I've done. Honestly. And it's relevant right now because the show came out. So, haha. Exploit the algorithm. I'm not interested in doing that most of the time. I just want to do my own thing. But right now, sure. The algorithm just happens to line up with what I already wanted to do. Okay. Pause. Locked in. Now for the head. Wait, seriously? That video was how you found my account? I know that is my most viewed video, the one where the clip of me talking to the skull in New Vegas. But that's kind of cool. Stick this in a little further. I like using video games as a vehicle for storytelling. Yeah, Lamau had to double check. Yeah. I like using video games as a vehicle for storytelling. It was like every video game that I played when I was little, I just turned into dolls. Wii Fit Plus, I would just bike around the island pretending that I was a character, and I would pretend to talk to all the little NPCs going around the island. Yep. Or let's see what else. There was Pets Horses. It was like Nintendogs but for horses. But I pretended that the horses were talking horses. And they would talk to each other. And I turned Legos into dolls. Halo. Forge mode in Halo. Okay, that one's a little odd. I guess not that odd. There is, okay, I was about to lead into machinima, so let me retract what I just said about that being odd, because isn't there a whole machinima called Red vs. Blue that they just made in Forge mode in Halo? Isn't that like the progenitor of all modern machinima? You were a genius, actually. You were way more cultured than I was. I just watched Minecraft videos that made machinima. Mostly AFMAO. Rest in peace, machinima and RVB. Yeah. Rest in peace. I used to like Camp. Rest in peace, Camp. If Ruby had come out a couple years earlier, I would have been obsessed with Ruby, but it was too late for me. I was not a tween when Ruby was out. And then I would always watch AFMAO. That was my primary machinima. That's how I came to learn what machinima was. And I had Minecraft. And I would play with it like dolls. So it just made sense to me. You were obsessed with Ruby. Dweeb. Just kidding. I was obsessed with AFMAO, so I really cannot talk. put this back in front of the camera. She is a little bit bigger than the cow, isn't she? Okay, resize. Resize. She's gotta be smaller. Afmel was a Minecraft YouTube channel that did quote-unquote roleplay, but it was all scripted. Not at first, but then it kind of evolved to be scripted. And I loved it so much. But nowadays, Afmel just does baby content. Like, most YouTubers age up their content as their channel gets on in years, but not Afmel. She aged down her content. So, I don't watch her anymore. She doesn't make the machinima anymore, as far as I've seen, so I don't really care anymore. She's still big, though. Of course. You remember a few channels like that too? Yeah. Is this the right size now? This looks like the right size now. Don't dry out on me, please. Don't do that to me. Okay. I don't want you to crack. I might have to restart you because you're kind of cracking. No, I think you're fine. You're fine. I'm gonna say that you're fine, and it's gonna be true, because I said it out loud. And then make your little feetsies. You lost your paws, unfortunately, because I had to restart you. It's so sad. That's actually really sad. Okay, there we go. We're doing better. We're doing better. Blend, blend, blend. Man, I love clay so much. That sounded like it might have been sarcastic, but no, I do. I do love clay so much. Let's squish you in a little bit. Squish. Get fatter and less wide. That is a little bit bigger. I want you to be chubby, though. Be chubby. Yep, what did I say? Clay explodes. Oof. You gotta make sure that you don't get any air bubbles in any clay that you're gonna put in that kiln. But that's harder than it sounds. Way, way harder. I actually haven't worked with clay that you bake in the kiln since elementary school. I've only worked with air and oil-based since then. Just because I never had the chance again, not because I didn't want to. Kiln clay is probably the highest quality. It's like the oil paint of clay. It's the classic. It's the stuff they put in the museums. And then air dries the stuff they sell on Etsy. Although you can get some pretty darn good stuff on Etsy sometimes. I bet you could find a really good oil painting on Etsy. I'm thinking of this one mom who went to my church when I was little, who was just, I went over to her house for some reason, I remember, and she just had this gorgeous, gorgeous oil painting on the wall that she did. She just had this secret talent for oil paintings. It was crazy. It was like a portrait of herself and her daughter. It wasn't even like, you know, a simple landscape or anything. No, an actual photorealistic portrait. Insane. Okay, and now I need to make the head smaller. But I saved the shape. I have it. So I don't have to redo the whole oval head shape. I just have to make it smaller. Is that good? Yes, that is phenomenal. Blend. As we always do. There we go. Yep. Wow! I think this one might be a little bit more unbalanced than the cow. Let me angle the feet downwards a little bit. Here, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. Now let's see if I can pull it off. Oi. Oi, 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 oi. Give me pause. Give me pause. Pause, pause, pause. Okay, I'm going about this the wrong way. Hold on. Oh, the frick. Let me just, No, you're cracking. I need something from the bottom of the bucket here. Something that hasn't touched the air yet. I need this to be really, really freaking malleable. Okay, I think I've got it. And then we blend. Once again. I think this is going good. I think this is going good. That's okay. It wasn't supposed to say. It was not supposed to stay. Paw. Haha. Now for the other one. You know what? No, I'm gonna blend it more. I am going to obsessively blend. Because it looks like she has cankles right now. The one in the back is just staring into your soul. Ooh. I'm coming for you. Okay. Paw number 2. Smaller. Smaller! Okay. Okay, I think that's good. Yes. And blend. Okay. Now I've got a... yeah, that works. I just broke it off instead of trying to blend it into the space between the feet. This is random, but I keep having dreams about Disneyland. It is, of course, a weird Disneyland. Stuff like Splash Mountain, but you have to pick up your raft and bring it to the next slide every time you go down. California Screamin', but it goes all the way around the entire park, and instead of sitting in a cart, you like sit on this ski lift kind of thing, except it's all just metal bars, there's no seats. I think I was Mickey Mouse at some point. That was a nightmare. Okay. Guess what time it is? It's ear time. I love me ear time. Yes, 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 yes. Her ears. Her ears are gonna be big. She's a cat. Meow. And then you just boop, and there's an ear. Ta-da! Make that a little bit more pointy. To be a cat. And then more pointy. More pointy. And then boop. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Look at that. Oh my heck. Holy frick. Oh. Oh. Turning it over, exposed. The cracks. Get those out of here. There we go. That's better. Perfect! I'm glad you think so. Got an A+ rating. Something that is normal to want and possible to achieve on this project. Okay. Now the other one. I think a little less clay. And then... You gotta boosh. You gotta boosh it. That's what I did last time, and it was good luck. And then you gotta bloop. And then you gotta blend. Assimilate everything into one perfect glob. Perfect glob. The anticipation is killing me. This one was a little too pointy. A little less pointy. Squish. Okay. 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 Yes. Yes, I think so. I am not, I repeat, not going to blend these into the head, because that would be a fruitless endeavor. How many times have I said fruitless endeavor? Anyway, I'm just gonna super glue those on once they dry. Just smooth out the cracks a little bit. Okay. And then, of course, eyes. I'm gonna try to make the nose out of clay. That's probably gonna be hard, because it's gonna have to be kinda small. Triangles are easy to make, though. You just kind of smoosh it against the table 3 times. Don't fall over. Rude. That is too big. No. No. It's too big. Take that down to size. Be smaller, smaller, very smaller size. She's not a clown cat. Looks like an elephant, sorta. Yeah, with the big nose on there, definitely. Smaller. Smaller. I'm not gonna blend the nose either. That would be... It looks like a bat. That's what it looks like. With a nose this big, it looks like a bat. Smaller. Okay, now that's just silly. Still looks like a bat. Okay. Carved in nose it is. Bats and cats, not much difference at all. They call bats flying foxes, though, not flying cats. Okay. Cat mouth, now it looks like a cat. I've broken my rules. I gave it a mouth. I usually don't give them mouths. There we go. That looks pretty good. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now she definitely needs a tail. Cat tails are a little bit easier though. They're bigger for one thing. Get it started. After that, I think I will be done with the tabaxi. Although I might give her some, like, little spots or something right here. most of her detail will probably be in paint. Take the ears off. Ears come off for now. You see, that is way too long. Oh. Still way too long, but better. Round that out a little bit. Shape that up. And yep. Too thick. Thin that thing out a little bit. Make that thing thin. Okay. Okay. Looking pretty good, I think. I want to make it snake a little bit like the cat tail does. You know how they do. Kind of like this. Bend it a tad more though. Round that out on the inside, please. This one I'm probably gonna blend in. Or at least attempt to do so. We'll see if it falls off. The anatomy is tough for these kinds of things. At this kind of scale. With this kind of clay. Okay, ears back on and we see how it looks with the big picture. Let's find out. I'd say pretty good. Okay. So I'm gonna be done for now. I'm gonna give them some accessories later. And of course color. But we're gonna stick these here to dry next to each other as best friends. And I'm gonna log off. Bye-bye.